Worldwide Entertainment TV. Stay tuned to our website at wwetvn.com, aka worldwideentertainmenttv.com.
So today we have Alexus Bria with us on the platform, and she's a triple threat doing singing, acting, and philanthropy. So let's start off with your acting. You've worked on everything from Fight Night, The $1 Million Heist, to The Color Purple musical and Tyler Perry Productions. How do you shift between roles in music, theater, and screen acting?
How do I shift between?
Yeah,
I think that it's just all about staying grounded and knowing who you are in real time in real life and
yeah,
being focused on not letting the role become you, but letting you become the role. So I think that's the main thing for me.
yeah.
Being able to navigate through things, just knowing exactly who I am. I
Okay.
think it's important to stay grounded in some type of faith and just
Yeah,
living in your truth. It sounds easier said than done, but a lot of people don't understand the fact that we can get lost in trying to become somebody else or trying to connect to the roles so much that you lose a sense of who you are or sight of who you are. So just knowing who you are. Huh?
yeah. I've heard that before.
Yeah, just knowing who you are before you go into the role and not letting you become the role, but letting the role become you, and
Yeah.
learning yourself in and out. And when the cameras go off, and when it's time to be you, and don't stay so stuck in the mind frame of the role.
Okay, so how did you come about being in Fight Night, The $1 Million Heist?
I actually got a email and a text message from the director saying that I was a director's pick.
Oh,
So I'm not
that's
exactly sure how.
yeah.
I think they found me more than I found them. So
Okay.
just grateful to be on their radar and for them to, contact me when it comes to projects like that.
Yeah, that's always good.
Yeah, for sure.
So what was it like being on set with the talents like Kevin Hart and Taraji P. Henson?
Kevin Hart is so funny in real life, in real time. He is so short. He's really short, but he's honestly a really, really good person. Like in and out, I've experienced him to be, he bought us all food when we were on set. He
Oh,
always made us laugh. He always was a personable person. He approached me.
yeah,
He connects with his fans and his people and people he's working with. He's not just a person that you can't touch or talk to. And you know,
yeah,
him and Taraji are both personable people. And so because of those things, when Kevin Hart came over to me and introduced himself to me and wanted to know who I was, that made me feel special. And
yeah,
so
that's nice.
yeah, going out of his way to know who I am. And then so did Taraji. She noticed that, how I maneuvered my way into a role or whatever. And she was like, I respect that. And because you did it that way, I'm gonna make sure that I show you love, give you
Yeah,
some camera time. So they all had an intricate role and part in being there. And I tell people all the time, I drove my Can-Am, which is like a bike in the rain to set one day because my
yeah,
car was getting worked on and I just didn't have a way there. And it was just like, that's how important it was to me to
yeah.
drive my motorcycle in the rain to get there. Sometimes you got to
There's a
make
will,
those
there's a
sacrifices.
way.
There's a will, there is a way. So I had to make the way come to me, which was a blessing. So I think that was like one of the most memorable times. And just being there, it made me feel good. Like I said, they didn't have to go out of their way to
Yeah.
make sure that I was known and saw and heard. They didn't have to do that. So for them to do that, it made me feel special, you know?
So which scene are you a part of?
In the first 3 episodes.
The first three episodes. Okay. All right. So everyone go check that out if you haven't seen it yet.
Yep. In the first 3 episodes.
So you've also been recognized by Oprah for your work. What did that moment mean for you, both personally and professionally?
I mean, imagine, meeting Oprah, right? So yeah, she's a very powerful figure out here and a very memorable person. She was very down to earth, very kind,
Yeah.
very willing to connect again with her people and did the electric slide with us on set and
Oh
you know,
yeah.
I did so much, had so many things going on. So just meeting her was very monumental for me. It was such an amazing time. After meeting her, I was able to become the understudy for Fantasia, who played the role of Celie, as well as Daniela Brooks, who played the role of Sophia.
Yeah.
because she knew how important it was for me to be on set. Just joking with her and laughing with her and talking to her was really, it made me feel good. You know, they don't have to go out of their way to speak to little
Yeah.
people like us, but they make sure that they do. And they're down to earth people. They're kind, they're giving, you know, they just need to see that you are a personable person just like they are.
Yeah.
It just mean a lot. It changed a lot the trajectory of my entire career. So, you know, meeting them has just opened up so many doors for my life.
So how was it being a part of that classic film for theater?
Oh man, like I feel like I cried so much for no reason, just being there. You
Yeah.
know, we see stuff when we're kids and we see, you know, movies and things, and we never think that we're gonna actually be in them or a part of them. We just connect to them because of the story and because so many things are happening. It's just a blessing.
You also have a song that's playing on the air right now.
Hmm.
Could you tell us about the song?
Yeah, it's an Afrobeat song.
Yeah.
It's called Yeah, 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 Yeah. And it tells a story about a young lady who just wants to be held and loved and consoled by someone who she feels isn't the right guy for her.
Yeah.
How love just hurts when it's not the right love. And so it
Yeah.
not being healthy, but at the same time, sometimes the heart wants what the heart wants.
Yeah.
And that's the story that I think everybody can pretty much relate to. So it's playing in the 202 territories, pretty much all over the world. It has been
Yeah.
played or listened to via social media or anything of that nature. It's been there somehow, some way. It's playing in a lot of different radio stations, and I'm just excited to have my voice being heard by the nations, and
Yeah.
would love to continue to follow my dream the best way I know.
So how would you describe your style to someone that hasn't heard you yet?
Fun. I think with everything going on in the world, it's important to still have fun and to
Yeah.
smile and to try our best to live even through tough situations. And that's a lot of what my music talks about. Whether for me it's being a single mom and working two jobs or still trying to follow my dream or even love not going the way that I want it to go, but still being able to enjoy myself in life, even though love isn't going my way. You know, it doesn't matter what circumstances or tribulations that I have. I think it's very important that we stay focused and stay grounded on being able to not forget that every day is a gift and that life is a gift in itself because some people wasn't able to wake up today. So
Yeah.
just not forgetting that, the presence is the gift and living in the present and not living in the past. And not letting your feelings overcome your mentals, keeping your
Yeah.
peace, keeping those boundaries. I think a lot of people will see that there's a lot of love in my music. There's a lot of storytelling in my music. I feel like a lot of people that listen to me call me an old soul because I'm able to
Yeah.
tell a story about any situation. And then I have music that you can have fun to. I have music that you can dance to. I have music that like it kind of just depends on how I'm feeling when I go into the studio that day. Like I got
Yeah.
a song called "Live for Me," and it's gonna give you an a pop. Well, it's gonna give you R&B, and hip hop, and then I have the Afrobeat song that's gonna give you the island feel, but give you pop. Then I have rap where I just feel like, hey, I want to talk about who I am. I want to say some stuff and I want to get it off my chest. So it just
Yeah,
kind of
mix it
depends
up.
on your mood. Yeah.
Yeah. So I also seen that you've shared stages with legends like Lil Wayne, Cardi B, and Genuine. What's one
Mhm.
stand-up moment or lesson you've taken from performing alongside artists like that?
Always stay ready, man. Stay ready for any and everything because life is going to throw some curveballs at you at any time, any moment. And you just got to be ready for what life is going to give to you. Having different types, being diverse, having different types of music. And at that time, I was so focused on having one sound that I was only able to perform at certain events or certain things. And then once I realized like, hey, I don't really feel like this crowd is for me, I started making music that fit me as a person
Yeah.
and being able to expand to different things. Like I just want to use Beyonce as a reference, but we saw her in so many different stages. We saw the R&B stage, we saw
Yeah.
the pop stage, now we're seeing the country stage. It's very important to change with how you're feeling and the way that the world is going. So you have to stay focused on, again, knowing who you are and being able to tell your own story, how you feel it should be told.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's my
So
music right there.
what's the difference when you're doing stage performance and then acting when you're performing in front of a
Oh
live audience?
man, it's different. With film, you can mess up and take one, take two, take 35. It's easy to do that. When you're on stage, you got one shot. It's kind of like theater and performances are a lot alike. So those things that blend together, one prepared you for the next. Being able to think on your feet, being able to connect with the crowd, being able to talk to people like you're talking to, like I'm talking to you, like I'm having a
Yeah.
conversation. So, just making sure that you are a personable person. It's difficult to be on them stages. It's difficult to be in front of those people. It's not an easy thing to get up there and pour your heart out and pour your gift out to people that one might not accept you. Being on stage with Genuine was different from being on stage with Lil Wayne. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? It was a different type of show. It was a different type of crowd. But you have to make sure that you're making the music that connects to each person, each crowd. So
Yeah.
just being able to navigate through the industry in itself is difficult. You got some people that are kind. You got some people that are rude. You got some people that want to take pictures. You got some people that don't. And
Yeah.
all of that is fine because these are just people. Sometimes people are just not in the mood, and that's okay. So I think
Yeah.
understanding that they're not celebrities, that they're people, and they just may have a lot more, they might just be in your face a lot more than I am. But at the end of the day, they're still people and they want to be treated like a person. So
That's true.
talking to the person instead of thinking like, oh my God, I'm such a fan. I mean, they want to remember that I'm a person too.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
who do you consider to be the top five artists, dead or alive?
Ooh, that's so tough. Dead or alive? We're gonna go with Michael Jackson, the king of pop. I'm going to say Prince. I like both.
Yeah. Can't go wrong
Um,
with those two.
I like both. I like Whitney Houston. Whitney Houston.
Voice.
The voice. The
Yes.
voice, man. That nobody's voice still compares to her voice. So, and my real name is actually Whitney, and that's who my mom named me after. So, love me
Oh,
some Whitney.
yeah.
Lauryn Hill for me. She
I
changed
guess.
a lot of the. She changed the whole game when she came
Yeah.
in. With her singing, her rapping, her acting.
She was just at college, yeah, yesterday, I believe,
Hmm.
giving a
Um,
seminar about
yeah,
people, about making sure to make the music about the community and having a message.
yeah. So I feel like a lot of music nowadays doesn't, register with the community. They don't talk about what they used to talk about back in the day. Like the rappers back then, like rappers like Curtis Lowe, they talked more so about putting the guns down, about, having a say in the community, being able to have a
Yeah.
positive outlook on children. And the rap game just changed from that to like killing and murdering and all this. So my final one is going to be Tupac. Is that five? I said five? I think that
Yeah.
was five, right? So
Yeah.
Tupac, I felt like Tupac was the last of a dying breed who also again changed the game when it came to letting us know about police brutality and how they changed and how the system sometimes is just pitted against just the way that we look and the
Yeah.
way that we are. So I think the people that made the biggest impact, number one in music and number two in understanding the assignment of getting the message out to people in a positive way, whether it started controversy or not. You still remember them not just for their music, but also for their personality and because they taught you something. You learned something when you came from them. So those are my favorite ones.
Okay, because speaking of community,
Hmm.
we have a nonprofit, House of Edna, to uplift
Yeah.
mother.
House of Edna. House of Edna. Edna is my mom's mom, so my grandmother.
Oh, your
She
grand.
passed away, and I was never able to meet her, but she passed away when my mom was 16.
Yeah.
Um, my grandfather, my mother, and my aunt, they always talk about her and her heart and how she opened up her home to people and how she fed so many people and just gave so many
Yeah.
people things and she did outreach in the best way she could in the community, to give back. And for me, I always like helping people, but I never had a way to do it. And so House of Edna came about as it started out as a summer camp for kids to come in the community and, you know, be able to just have something to do. Then it moved and it changed from that to like acting and dancing and singing and playing instruments and having teachers come in and do all those things. And then it changed from that to being able to help single mothers, having being able, like so many things came about based upon just helping people, you know, what was the need at the time in the community was the biggest, you know, thought for me. And so being able to connect with my community, you know, I felt like if kids have a positive outlet, then they're less prone to be on the streets, you know. And so then it transferred over to gun violence. And then it just had, you know, I lost a friend right out of high school and due to gun violence. So it's just so many things that House of Edna is, and that it changed over the years too. And as the time go by, I was able to employ kids. I was able to have kids get jobs in the community. I was able to give credited hours to students in college. I was able to, you know, I was able to do so many things that was needed at mom's church. Mom's also a pastor, so I seen a lot of battered women, when I was young, was in a battered woman shelter. It was just me and my mom in the shelter. And so you see so many women and there's so many different stories for women and kids and things like that. And I wanted to help moms, you know, find a place to have their kids for the summer that was affordable in the community. And that's where the idea came from. So House of Edna was birthed in my own personal way of helping the community in my best way that I can, and keeping my grandmother's legacy alive, and also having my mother be a part in the community for the church and being able to do outreach and things like that. So I always liked to help people, and I always like to give back and just do things. So I think that I dedicated my life to those things. And it's a good feeling, even though even though it doesn't pay or it doesn't, you know, it's not as, you know, but it's rewarding to see all of those kids that came through my camp or that came to me. Number one, they're proud of me. They see the importance in being a good person. They have businesses, whether it was entrepreneurship classes or, you know, they just took a different route, and just seeing those kids be successful, finishing school, going to college, having jobs, staying off of the street. I help so many children now that they've graduated from high school. It seems like time has flown by, but each one of those kids, whether it's AAU basketball, whether it's picking up an instrument, whether it's being in the studio singing, whether it's everybody pick something different from the program that helped them push them further in life. And so it was a blessing for me to have that impact on so many kids, and for them to even remember that growing up, it changed their life in the future, and it left a lasting impression on them to be somebody of this world.
Yeah, that reminds me of the Tupac Center in Atlanta that we
Yeah.
were the media platform for. The exact same kind of thing that you're speaking of, with helping the youth with arts or doing business.
Yeah, yeah. And all of that is important, man. It's not, it shouldn't go to the wayside. It shouldn't be dead. It shouldn't be something that we lost touch on. It should be definitely something. The kids are the future, and the way that the world is going to this day is we need more people to do something about it. Like, we need more positive impacts on the community, on the young, the youth, like we need it. So I wasn't thinking that it was going to be as big as it was. It just became more than I expected it to be over time. And I'm grateful, you know, but
We're
I
given
can't say,
blessings, so the blessings come.
and that is a lot of reason why I think that so many great things happen for me in my own career by me just pouring into other people. I was never looking for a return. But being able to do those things, I think that God sees all. And I think that God allows things to happen for your time and for you that you love to do because of the heart that you have.
Yeah.
So it's important to just, like, being a good person shouldn't be a dead thing. Like, people don't like being good people anymore. People always want to hurt people or do different things, and that's we need more love. Like, it's already enough hate. It's already enough things going on in the world that's terrible. Like, we need something different. And I think that that's what the world is missing to this day, is just love.
That's what you bring with your music.
Yeah, love and kindness, man.
That pushes out the, the push out the vibration. So you're doing your part.
Yeah. It's bigger than music. It's more than just being an artist. It's about actually having a message. Like I said before, like Tupac did, it's about having a message and reaching people. even though you're going through tough times and even though things aren't going as well as you would like them to go, still don't let those things change the fact like people can be bad and love doesn't always go right. And there are things that could make you bitter, but don't be bitter based upon, what somebody else has going on. Still stay true to who you are. And those things are gonna double back and they're gonna double back. They're gonna be a part of you one day and you're gonna reap the blessings of just being who you're supposed to be.
So, what's next for you? What can people expect? More music, more acting, something unexpected?
All of it. I mean, I'm gonna still act. I'm still gonna sing. I'm still gonna make
Yeah.
songs. I actually do have an EP coming out very soon.
Okay.
Hopefully, you'll see my face on some award shows soon.
Yes.
Just trying to put it out there. Put it out there.
Let it get out. Yeah.
So, just continuing to stay grounded in who I am and making music and helping people and just being where I am, just staying true and staying focused to who I am. So I think that they can just expect me to make music, expect me to act.
Yeah.
I think that's why look for the EP though. The EP is gonna be coming out. It's called Diary of a Loved Woman.
All
And
right.
so yeah, it's a lot of R&B vibes, a lot of old school, old soul vibes. I like Anita Baker a lot, so it's gonna definitely give you that tone of being able to, drop
Hopeful.
our yeah, soulful. Then it's gonna give you some. I'm a sing, but I'm still talking my junk too. So it's both of it's both. And so I think that just expect the Diary of a Loved Woman to come. So
So when people's looking for you, they could find you on all the platforms.
yes, on every platform. I'm on Spotify, Tidal, Amazon Music. I'm on Instagram, Facebook. I'm on everything. Alexus Bria, ALEXUSBRIA, on all platforms. Check me out, listen to some music, and get some vibes. Then get some vibes. Thank you for having me on today, Kevin. I'm so grateful. This was definitely felt like more of a conversation than it did an interview. So
Yeah.
just grateful to be here and have someone else listen to my story. Man, it means a lot to me. So thank you for listening to my story. Thank you
Yes.
for even just doing this interview, man. I'm just grateful.